Hi, everybody. It's Karen Anderson with Aortic Hope for this week's Week in Review. And I'm sorry I'm late, and I'm sorry I picked a new time, but I had to get my annual MRA today. So I'm like tired and not really 100% with it because, these MRAs, they are really exhausting. And this one had a little bit of a new nuance to it because this is the first time I was told, inhale, now exhale and hold your breath. Who exhales and then tries to hold their breath? Although in some ways I think it was easier to hold your breath on an exhale. The inhale, hold your breaths. Oh my God. I think they were trying to kill me because my head would start to pound and I'd start to get sweaty and I'd start to get full of anxiety. And I'm good in a machine like that. So in between the breath holds, I was completely sleeping. I mean, I had multiple dreams while I was in that tube. It just takes no time at all. I put my earplugs in, I've got spa music, but now I got to flush out all that nasty junk they put in you, and I'm just tired, and now I'm going to feel cranky. If I listen to myself complain, it makes me cranky. Other than that, I hope you all had a really nice Halloween. I am still eating Halloween candy, but I limit myself to 2 pieces in the evening as my little sweet treat and little Snickers. It's the only time of year I do it. I never ever get the candies outside of the year. But let's get started. Before we do that, please click like, please click subscribe, click that little bell so that you're notified when we go live, because we do have a couple live events. We actually have a new live event with Dr. Fisher, Stacy Fisher, cardiologist. She has done many live events with us before in the past, but she is going to be doing a live event with Carmen David. And you may know Carmen from Aortic Athletes. It is a Facebook page. She and Jack Crow, who run this Facebook page, have utilized AHTV to do a bunch of interviews with surgeons or cardiologists regarding their views on exercise and aortic disease. Well, Carmen, being that she had a dissection around her pregnancy and when she had her child, we've never done a live event about that before. And I found out Dr. Fisher is working with high-risk pregnancy individuals that have congenital heart defects, etc., also AD. So I thought this might be like a really interesting live event, especially for people who might already have AD and are of childbearing years or thinking about getting pregnant, maybe are pregnant and this runs in your family. I'm sure you're already being seen by a physician and followed. Really should be. But this might give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions of somebody who is, leading the charge in this area, and have the questions be asked by someone who experienced this herself firsthand. So that will be going up on our event page. We have 2 aortic kitchen events this month. That's happening. Of course, Qigong multiple times. We'll get into all of that when we talk about our calendar of events, but go ahead, click like, click subscribe, and then when we're done, click share. Always click share. All right, let's talk about it. So last week, Movement for Movement Monday. You know what this is. You know what I'm going to talk about too. And I was able to get one of our med students to work on this for all of you, because moving your body, so important. We talk about this all the time. That's when we created this movement for movement, because there really is something called cardiac paralyzation. And that's when people just are so stumped and they're so stuck and they don't want to move when they find out they have an aneurysm or they've had a dissection. Because they're just scared, because they don't understand the mechanics of how their bodies work. And even if their doctors say they can do something, they're just sometimes too scared to do it. So it's very important that that you move your body and you work within the restrictions, if any, that your physician has given you. However, it's autumn, and that means all the leaves are starting to fall from the trees, which is kind of terrible because they look so pretty. I look out my window, I'm seeing them all right now. But with these leaves falling off the trees, it just means that many people are now going to want to rake up the leaves so that they don't destroy your grass. I get it. I get it. But raking leaves can be quite problematic for people with aortic disease. And I wanted us to talk about how that is. It's not typically considered that great for your heart rate and your blood pressure, especially if you have pre-existing conditions in your heart, as it involves repetitive motion, bending, twisting, lifting, etc. And that can sometimes put a little bit of a significant strain on your heart, potentially causing your blood pressure to rise significantly, particularly if you're doing this for extended period of times and in cold weather. We will have a separate post that talks about how weather impacts our bodies. Here's some key points to consider when it comes to thinking about raking your own leaves. I'm not talking about blowers, I'm talking about using the rake. Raking leaves is actually considered to be a moderate to vigorous physical activity, and it requires your heart to actually work harder than usual. So that's important to note. Repetitive motions it, that come with raking can actually lead muscle strain in your back, your shoulders, and your arms, especially if you're not used to this type of physical exertion. And while that in and of itself is not necessarily problematic, for a lot of us, if you wanted to relieve that pain, you're stuck with just Tylenol. And I don't know about you, but I find taking a Tylenol as good as taking a Tic Tac. It just doesn't do anything. If you're raking in cold weather, you have to understand that your blood vessels constrict in cold weather, and that can further elevate your blood pressure. And you're just, again, putting a lot of hard work on your body. What you can do to mitigate the risk. So let's assume you're really like, I'm going to rake my leaves. I'm doing it. I'm not going to ask the child down the street who would love to have $5 for raking your leaves to help put towards buying a game. No, but you're going to rake it yourself. If you have any concerns about your heart, your aorta, your blood pressure, and the like, talk to your doctor. Just talk to your doctor before you engage in strenuous yard work like raking leaves. Just have a nice conversation, okay? If you're going to do it, make sure you take frequent breaks. Don't try to do too much too quickly. If it's windy, it's not worth it because you're just going to do all this work for nothing. But just make sure you take some breaks. Use good posture, obviously. Bend at the knees. Avoid lifting heavy piles of the leaves at one time. Cut them in half, kind of thing. Stretch before you start raking the leaves to kind of help prepare your muscles. It's also good to stretch afterwards too, when you're kind of slowing down and you're inside your house. If raking leaves is too physically demanding for you, there's other options. You can actually rent, I believe you can rent a leaf blower these days from Home Depot or Lowe's, and then you can just bring it back. Just buy one if you live in an area with a lot of leaves. Hire somebody professional or a kiddo. They'd be thrilled to have a little bit of extra cash and let them just let them do it. Better to be safe. But whatever you do, always talk to your physician before engaging in something that is some type of physical activity, whether you view it as strenuous or you don't, and the rest of the world does. Okay. I like to jump into the pile of leaves, but I'm definitely not raking it. No. And even my husband now, who it does not have AD, well, first of all, he doesn't really rake the leaves. He thinks it's natural. Whatever it does to the lawn, it's okay. It's frolicky time for the deer, but I don't let him shovel the snow anymore. And we're going to talk about that in about another month, shoveling snow and how that is a no-no. But talk to your physician about raking leaves and see if it's right for you. And that's Medical Monday. Okay. We have anybody say hi to, or they all get confused because we moved to 4?
Well, Ken and Velda say hi. Hi, Ken. Hi,
Hi.
Velda.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Velda. Good to see you. Welcome to November. All right. I can already guess who wrote this, and I'm right. I was going to say it had to be Adam because Adam loves trivia. He loves asking trivia. So, Adam, 4th year, finishing up med school, getting ready to try to match for his residency, put up a Topic Tuesday trivia post for you. And I don't even recall if I saw it. So, this is going to be fun for me too. So, he's hoping that everyone enjoys this beautiful autumn weather. Welcome back to another week of Topic Tuesday. This was last week again, so it was the last one for October. So we wanted to do a trivia challenge based on some of the things that we had shared with you during the month of October. Okay, and I have the answers ready to go. So these have to do with the Medical Monday post that Samantha and Topic Tuesday post that came from both Adam and Duke from September, from Aortic Disease Awareness Month. Let's see how we do on this. Okay, first question. Let's see if we can get it right. And I know that it's going to be lag time for those that are watching us. What kind of valve, mechanical or bioprosthetic, requires blood thinners? Anybody for 5 or 10? How's that go?
For 5 points, I will say mechanical.
I will say ding, 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 ding. You are correct. It does require blood thinners, the mechanical. And also, in case it's not in here in the questions, I will mention it is the only valve that you cannot have placed endovascularly as of today. And I only say that because things change all the time, but you can't squish it. Can't squish it and you can't fold it to shove it up your artery from your groin. You can only do that with the bioprosthetic ones. So that's always something to consider. All right, true or false? TAVR is preferred to SAVR in older, meaning older than 75 years old, patients who have isolated aortic valve disease. TAVR is, I'm going to screw it up. It is, what's the T stand for again right now? Oh my God, my brain. It's aortic valve replacement, but that would be, it's endovascular. It's what it is. SAVR, I forgot what the S stood for. It's aortic valve replacement, but that is open. I do remember that is open. So which one do you think, or is it true or false, that a TAVR is preferred to open in older patient population?
Coin flip true.
I was going to do the same thing. We're going to find out in just a minute, but I am writing down your answers for each one so we can see. What kind of aortic dissections, type A or B, can be managed medically without surgery? This seems so easy to me. What do we think?
I'm going to go with B.
You are right. What kind of aortic dissections, type A or B, involve the ascending aorta?
The A, I believe.
You believe correct. What's the medical terms for water pills? I know the answer to this one too. Let's see if Velda or Ken know this one. We're gonna give it just a minute.
Yeah, I'll give that a second. I'm trying to remember anything.
Yeah, medical term for water pills. Women probably know this answer before a man would because we're always looking for water pills because we always seem to retain a lot of water.
Oh.
So, yeah, we do. We retain water.
Let's see what they say.
Let's see. We shall see. But in other news, vote. Make sure you guys vote. It is a privilege to be able to vote. Don't care who you're voting for, just vote. That's all I'm going to say. And you can do it now. Early voting, and you can do it tomorrow. And then we move on. But I said, get out the vote. All right. Any answers? Anybody in the peanut gallery? Does anybody have anything?
Well, Katie dropped in to say hi. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
To the leave situation, Ken says rake it or leave it. I agree. Velda says leave the leaves. I also
leave
agree.
the leaves.
And then Katie says, I'll miss you guys Thursday. She's not going to be here Thursday. She's going to go hang out someplace else. And who is stealing our Katie?
Hanging out, not in the hangouts. Hey, but did you know that you should probably leave the dandelions? I think all my life I thought they were just a nasty weed, and they're not. They really serve a huge purpose. They do. And if you don't rip them out from deep within the roots, they're just it's like the old wives' tale. You pull out a gray hair, two grow in its place, except this is true. More will grow in its place if you don't pull it out correctly. And it is huge when it comes to pollination. Plays a major, major role with the bees. And it's really good. We want more bees.
We do want more bees. Yeah. I remember reading an article once that I think some guy decided to redo his entire front lawn with clovers because clovers only grow so big.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm tired of doing lawn maintenance. So I took out all the grass and it's just a field of clovers. Right?
We don't get to have a field of anything because the deer are always eating everything. My husband's so happy he plants. He's like, come out here. Look at what I planted. And I say, oh, you did such a good job. And then I wake up the next morning and the deer did a good job of having their dessert all night. They ate all the little flowers. But he loves it. It doesn't bother. Most people will be losing their minds and wanting to put little metal things around it. Now my husband's like, oh, I made the deer happy. All right, let's figure out medical term for water pills. Anybody going once, twice sold? No? Nobody knows?
Let me take a look. Diuretic.
Yes, ding ding ding.
Velda with the answer.
Felda with the win. Okay. What kind of hypertensive medication is metoprolol? Well, I can tell you right now, it's got the LOL, and we should all know by now what a lull is. Any idea, Josh?
You know, I draw
You know.
blanks when we get to these things.
Beta blocker.
Oh, yeah, beta blocker.
All right. What kind of antihypertensive medication is lisinopril? It's April. And I get confused too, but I'm going to guess ACE inhibitor.
I'm going to say ACE inhibitor. It just came to me.
Okay. What part of the aorta marks the transition between the aortic root and the ascending aorta? And here's a hint. It's called the blank junction. It's actually called, I think, blank blank junction, but would be my guess. No, it is one word. It's one word. I lied. It's one word. I thought it was two. It's one. Would you like me to tell you what I think it is?
Yes.
Sinotubular.
I would never have guessed that.
Sinotubular junction. I don't know why I know this, but I don't know, but I do. Okay. What are the two important arteries that come off of the aortic root and supply blood to the surface of the heart? Ooh. 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 Oh, I know. I just remembered. I think I'm right because I remembered his post. I think they are the coronary arteries. I do. If I'm right, you don't understand. This I would have made my own day because I feel like I'm in. If medical school made their tests like this, I would have passed. But I don't think they sound like this. All right, 10. Who were the last two guests we interviewed, survivor and surgeon, during the aorta chats as part of Aortic Disease Awareness Month? Well, I don't expect everybody to know that unless you were paying attention on Twitter because we have not posted those here yet. I was preparing to post all of these incredible interviews that Adam was able to do with a variety of surgeons that many of you have heard their names in the community before, as well as a lot of people from the board of Aortic Hope that, as you know, are obviously aortic disease patients. And these interviews were so much fun, and I can tell you who they are. Me and Dr. Roselli. That's who I believe the doctor was from Cleveland Clinic.
I was going to guess you and Dr. Udelman.
Dr. Udelman was first.
Was he first? Oh.
He was first in line. So yeah, I can't wait to post these because everybody did a fantastic job. And you know, he had these set questions, and he did a good job interviewing, and it was live on Twitter. I've never done that before, so couldn't see us, but it turned out really nicely. So we'll be posting those for everyone. So, all right, that was it for Tuesday. Let's check out our answers, everybody. Let's see how well we did. What kind of valve requires blood thinners? Mechanical, ding, 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 ding. True or false? TAVR is preferred to SAVR in older patients who have isolated aortic valve disease. You said true. Ding, 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 ding. What kind of aortic dissections, A or B, can be medically managed? And that answer is B. And that's really primarily because there's so much blood flow coming out of the heart that goes into the ascending part, which kind of gives the answer of number 4, that you really can't be medically managed or with just medications when it comes to A, which is the ascending aorta, which is the answer for 4. With that amount of blood volume, you need to have surgical intervention. 5, diuretics. Ding, 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 ding. 6 is metoprolol is a beta blocker. The lulls are beta blockers. Antihypertensive medication, lisinopril, is an ACE inhibitor because it's a pril. Prils are ACE inhibitors. Lisinopril, I can't remember any other pills. That's testing my brain too much. All right. I was right. What part of the aorta marks the transition between the aortic root and the ascending aorta? And it's the sinotubular junction. I swear, I could be a doctor. I got number 9 right. The two important arteries that come off the aortic root and supply blood to the surface of the heart is your left and right coronary arteries. It is not carotid because that is your carotids come off of the arch. They're 2 of the 3 that come off the arch. I was right again, except you spelled my name wrong. I was the last survivor interviewed, and Dr. Roselli from Cleveland Clinic was interviewed as the last doctor. So ding, ding, ding to all of you and your answers. Good job. Really good job. I feel so good
Velda
about
was on a
myself.
roll there. She didn't get
She
the
was.
coronary arteries. Wait. No,
That's
wait.
okay.
She chose arch instead of sinotubular junction. She nailed it all the way
Well,
down there, though. She
you
did.
did really good. Yeah. Because if you think of the only reason I thought of that is because I know that the sinus of Valsalva is down around the aortic arch, and then it just popped into my head. Sinotubular junction. I don't know. And the only reason I knew number 9 is because the coronary arteries are part of the heart, but I do know that they connect from the aortic root, and I knew it couldn't be carotid, so I had to be one of the 2. So I know. I'm so happy with myself. All right, let's go to Therapeutic Thursday. I needed that. I needed that little boost. Okay, it's either that or I'm not kidding you. I have candies all over the house. There's a Snicker, and here's my Twix. It was one of the 2 was going to have to give me the boost. All right, Therapeutic Thursday, you guys. I don't know how many of you remember this. We wanted to make sure we brought this to your attention. So you know that our goals here are to spread hope, create awareness, and provide support to caregivers and patients during the recovery and management of aortic disease. So we partnered with an organization called HelpTex. And a lot of these organizations we partner with, we get a little bit of a kickback, kind of like an affiliate. This we chose not to take any kickback because instead we were able to provide what we would have gotten back to all of you in the form of a free month. So you do not provide any credit card information, any kind of financial information at all. You sign up with just your cell phone because it's going to text you, and you get a free month of private, personalized mental health and or support for grief via text messages. Now, this is not therapy, but it's an additional type of tool that can give you some type of support when it comes to your mental health over health issues. If you're a caregiver, you can receive support as being a caregiver. Because you could be suffering financial stress, depression, anxiety, whatever it is that you're suffering from, including grieving the death of a loved one. It takes less than 5 minutes to sign up. Your texts begin right away. And you can start or stop anytime. But I would say, please give it the month and see how you feel about it. If after the month, if you like it, and you want to continue the support that you're receiving, and I'm going to give a little bit more specifics about that in a minute, that's when you have the option to sign up and purchase your subscription. They even reduced the cost of a yearly subscription. I thought it was supposed to be $99. Turns out I think it's $79, and that's the whole year. So what it is, in a nutshell, is on average 2 minimum texts a week for the whole month when you're trying it out. But if you had a subscription, would go all year. There is opportunity to receive additional texts depending on certain dates, anniversary dates of your surgery or death of a loved one, or certain times of year like holidays that might be a little bit more stressful. You'll receive an extra text message. And the texts are, it's just amazing. I thought it was going to be just a bunch of like just sugar, sweet, sappy BS, but it wasn't. Like one text was talking about positive affirmations and tools and ways to kind of jumpstart your day if you're just having a day and you're feeling kind of meh. And I was like, this is so corny. And it asked me like, what what would I think of myself if I was like a community member, something like that. I don't remember exactly how it was worded. And I was like, this is so dumb. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And then I realized, okay, it's not really dumb. I'm just thinking about it all day. And I wasn't thinking about it in a stressed way. I really was giving it a lot of intense thought. There was another text that had you do some quick alternative nostril breathing. And I found that I kept doing that over and over again to make sure I was doing it right. And I realized, oh, okay, I keep doing this. So somehow these texts are getting into my brain and I'm doing these things or reading these things or thinking about these things, even though I didn't want to and I wanted to buck the system. So it is somehow it is effective. And in it really, they kept seeming to come at times when I really wanted to read them, like I was having stress as if my phone somehow knew it. But I know I'm going way out on a limb that my phone can tell my emotions, but maybe I'm wrong. The point is, you get these text messages. Maybe they'll resonate with you, maybe they won't. But in addition, you get to designate 2 people to be your support system. So let's just say, for instance, you've lost someone, someone's passed away, animal, person, doesn't matter. You sign up for help text, you get your free month. You can designate 2 people in your life that are very important to you. They will receive 1 text a week as well as you receiving 2 texts a week. They will receive texts that kind of help them learn ways to help you. So they're going to get a text that says, hey, it's been a week since so and so's, pet passed or person's passed, and this is still going to be a tricky time. And you may want to say this, or you may want to think this. Um, if you're a caregiver to someone with a health issue and you choose 2 people in your life, a spouse or a friend, somebody to be your support system, they're going to get texts that tell them how they can best support you as a caregiver. So you're getting all of these texts are going out. And all of that, again, you can try for free for the first month. If you do not subscribe, you do not get any more texts. That's it. I did it. And I had a certain period of time afterwards to sign up. They gave me notice if I wanted to. For whatever reason, I didn't sign up for it for the longer subscription because I really just wanted to try it so I could tell you guys what it was all about. And believe me, I've thought many times about signing up for the subscription. So you know what? Try. It gives you a chance to try before you buy. All you need to do is click the link that was at the bottom of this post. It's also listed under resources. If you missed the post and you want to go back and you want to find it, this link is there, and just sign up. See what you think about it. I'd love to hear what you think about it, actually. They actually just rolled this out in Australia and it's free. They get a whole year for free. So they are sensing different countries and evaluating this as they're still continuing to roll it out. But for right now, they are charging the United States people. I don't know why, but they are. But it's still, I think, $80 seems like a heck of a lot. Um, um, Lower than what you would be spending if you did see a therapist. But again, this is to add on to if you are seeing a therapist, or if you can't, it's going to help you help yourself a little bit. So that was our Therapeutic Thursday help texts. I'm sure you can Google them and check them out. But if you want a month free, you got to use our link. That's our Thursday. Okay. That leads us right into Feel Good Friday. Gotta love that. Did you know it was National Jersey Day last week? Was, it was. Sports fans, if you're a sports fan, um, do you wear your team jerseys? Do you wear them on game days? I don't even think my son washes his Packers jersey ever during the season. He has to sit in the same chair. He has to wear the same dirty jersey. Everything has to be the same. Die hard Packer fan. Um, that's what he loves. And I love when we get near the holidays, even at his age. And I ask, okay, I need your Christmas list for Santa. And it's this jersey. I want Packers, Bucks, Orioles. I get all these different players. I don't know who anybody or anything is. And it's constant. I'm like, this is not a really effective wardrobe. But It's what he likes. But it's what he likes. And even right now, as we speak on Monday, 4:35, we're wrapping up our limited edition fundraiser. It ends tonight at midnight. So if you like jerseys, if you like stuff like that, check out our fundraiser. You've got your option of 3/4 zip sweatshirts. It is a heathered blue, a gray, and a red. And then you also have a long sleeve shirt. It's not like this red, but this is what it looks like. I'm wearing it today. This is the logo on the side pocket, quarter zip. And I don't think that you can see it. Probably not. But oh, I don't know. Can you see it, Josh? Aortic Hope logo on the back.
We see it.
This I got years ago, and it wears so well. And people stop me often to ask me, what is aortic hope? I got stopped so often today when I went in for my MRI. So those are your choices for the quarter zip. Then there's a long sleeve shirt, and I think you have black, gray, no, black, purple, and teal. And here's so funny. I placed an order for my own. And after I ordered teal, I was switching out some of my closet and I found I already had a teal shirt because I knew I liked it. I ordered purple and teal. So I called them and I said, I know you already took my order, but can I switch and get a black? I didn't want two teal. So now I have like every color. So I'm very excited. So yeah, you still have until late tonight to place your order to receive this. Once this is done, this is done. This stuff is not on our Hope Shop. Not these colors, not this. So you can click on that link. And if you just click in to the blog, Feel Good Friday, using the little magnifier up here, and when you go to our website, you'll get to this post very easily. And there's the link for the fundraiser. That is Feel Good Friday. That's what I got. Sticking to it. I hate this little button at the top of my screen. All right. We have a welcome. We've had a couple welcomes. I think we had two weeks ago. Kiana and Alvaro. Kiana is with Brown University. Alvaro is out of Columbia. So I don't know that name of that university from that country. They are med students, both 2-year, second-year med students. And we want to welcome Purab Kothari. There he is. Good friends with Adam. He is going to assist with some of these medically related posts, whether they're on Mondays or Tuesdays. He's a third-year med student right now at Thomason, that is not a word, at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, interested in cardiothoracic surgery. He aspires to specialize in the treatment of aortic disease across the continuum of care, from prevention and monitoring to operative treatment to long-term secondary prevention care. He enjoys spending his free time out in nature and is a believer in its ability to positively influence physical and mental well-being. So why volunteer with Aortic Hope? And he says open heart surgery is something most people hope to never need, and diseases of the aorta may affect people who might be completely healthy. Because of this, a diagnosis of an aortic aneurysm or dissection is jarring and has the potential to completely change one's life. Aortic Hope gives patients and their loved ones the resources to navigate their diagnosis and to return to a sense of normalcy to their lives. From developing patient education materials to joining support group sessions, I hope to make a small contribution in the lives of all affected by aortic disease. So let's all welcome Purab. Yes.
Welcome, Purab.
Yes. I had such a great conversation with him. And I think it dawned on me like it dawned on him. This is such a brilliant idea to be able to have the med students with us, whether they're first year, third year, it doesn't matter, because they're getting an opportunity to see behind the veil of a patient life. They see them on the table. They might see them for a few minutes before surgery if we're lucky, and they'll see them after surgery. But once they leave, that's it. Like, they may not see them for another year, right? Because we don't sometimes see our surgeons till 6 months to a year later. But these med students will be out of that hospital. So they're getting an opportunity to really see how we're impacted through being with us here at Aortic Hope. And I think it's made a profound effect on Duke, on Adam, and on Sam. Being able to read responses, read the tone, read the complete misinformation that is out here on Facebook, which is what we try to combat every day. And what I've been hearing, and I'm not going to say which med student, I'm not going to say which physician, but let's just say what I've heard is seeing the difference in old school physicians and how they work with patients versus med students who have worked with us and their way of communicating. It is night and day. Not that one is better than the other, it's if that's personal choice, but med students now have a way through working with us to converse with patients like I am with you, just kind of very open, very genuine, not minimizing, but not over dramatizing, not belittling, and not being so directive and just do as I say, which we've talked about this when it comes to a senior healthcare journey. Um, the old school relationship of patient walks into surgeon's office, surgeon says, you have an aortic aneurysm, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to give you a mechanical valve, and you say, yes, please, thank you, I'll see you on this date. Mm-mm. It's not a two-way street for success. Not with how easy it is to obtain information on the internet to learn. Is mechanical really what you want? Do you want to have your chest cracked open? Do you really want to be checking your INR levels through blood tests because you're on blood thinners the rest of your life with a mechanical? Or do you want to maybe learn about a bioprosthetic and have the option of endovascular repair and not having to be on blood thinners, but maybe having to have it replaced in 12 to 15 years? It's a conversation. Your life and your health care journey should be this two-way street. It should be you explaining, this is how you live your life. This is your level of activity. It will drive you nuts if you hear ticking or you don't really care. You want to be a one and done. This should be a 45-minute, hour and a half long doctor's appointment where you're learning about your anatomy, your condition. You're learning as much that you want to learn so that you can make the best educated decision with your physician for you and your lifestyle. And what I'm hearing is these med students, after working in this community, are really addressing the needs of the patient in their entirety, not just what's being presented to them during rounds. And so I kind of like when I hear that, because the old way of doing things, I think, is too regimented, but there's a lot of people that like to just be told, this is what you have, this is what we're doing, see you on this date, and they feel comforted with a plan. But I do think that because of the internet having that access, we need to have a bigger conversation than just ABC. I want to know like A and a half, E, F, G, D. I want to know, I think I forgot D. I want to know all the letters. I want to know the whys, the whats, the hows, you know, I want to know a lot more. I need to know. I need to know a lot more. And I think a lot of you do too. And I think that having that easygoing, we're in this together kind of uh, way of communicating is going to be more effective in having patients return and schedule follow-ups and talk to their family because this very well could be genetic. I just think it's going to yield a lot more positive things, but I don't know because we haven't done the research, but I just believe it. And one day I hope to see it. So yeah, welcome Purab. We're excited to have you. We're excited to see your posts. We're going to start seeing these posts from these new med students come January. They're practicing. They're practicing from now to the end of the year. So from now till the end of November, you still have Sam, Duke, and Adam. Of course, in December, if you don't know this, we don't really post educational posts. December is 31 days of hope and joy. It's a lot of interactive posts, engaging posts, and a lot of contests and a lot of winners. So we kind of want to take your mind off of it during the holiday season, whichever holiday you celebrate, and hopefully bring to you some thought-provoking questions, things that make you feel hopeful and joyful. So taking a break on those types of posts, picking it back up in January, and we're going to get to read all these fun things that our med students talk about. So welcome, Pure Ed. Okay. Did you guys mess up your daylight savings? We fell back and kind of like messed me up. I woke up the first morning, I was up like 6:45, thinking it was 7:45, 8 o'clock. I didn't like it very much. It kind of like jacks me up, but it's just going to get darker earlier. It's sun's going to be in my eyeballs like laser beams earlier in the morning and whatever. It is what it is, right? I thought we were supposed to stop this falling back, springing forward thing. Didn't we? Weren't we supposed to, Josh, stop it?
I wish they would stop this. I hear a bunch of tales about why we do it, but I don't think
Yeah.
that there's any reason to do it. If I'm not mistaken, New Mexico doesn't do this at all.
Yeah, I think there's another.
And
Are
there's
they
a
the only
country,
state?
no, there's a country that also was
Mm.
like, whatever. But I think New Mexico just doesn't care, which is
They just
nice
kind of
because
stay
that's what,
neutral.
yeah, I would like all of the states to go, whatever,
Yeah.
just whatever. It's this time right
Yeah.
now. Go away.
Right. I mean, if you told me this was 5:45, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
it's
but
5:45.
it is
It's weird.
4:45 and it looks like we're getting ready to
I
settle into the
know.
evening, and that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm
No,
with you, sister.
I know. Seriously. All right, guys, we're going to go over the events now that I can take all of October up. And I think I got it all done. I just have a couple things to link. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff happening. So let's jump ahead to tonight. Monday nights, first Mondays of the month, we have our Spanish speaking support group meeting. If you know anyone or you yourself want to have a meeting in Spanish, join the meeting tonight with Maria. She is an author. She has written books of poetry regarding her aortic dissection, but more importantly, she's also a licensed therapist, and she leads these meetings, and that is tonight. Later this evening, for you little night hawks, there at 10 o'clock, which is 11 p.m. It really is. But really, to help those on the East Coast, we have our caregiver only support group meeting at 10 p.m. Again, sign up with that specific link. Once you will receive notification when all of our 3 caregiver support group meetings happen. Wake up on Tuesday, we've got our Aortic Hope, Aortic Bridge, which is based out of New York City, combined forces support group meeting at 12 o'clock. That's led by Melissa. Oh, and tonight's caregiver is led by a woman named Terry. Um, and then Wednesday, we have our Canadian support group meeting, which Velda and Martha will be your fearless leaders in that meeting. That's at 7 p.m. That happens the first Wednesday of every month. And then on Thursdays, we have our Therapeutic Thursday, led by John Quick, community member, survivor, and licensed therapist, coming to you live from, where is he? From Portugal, Brazil, Spain. They all sound the same to me. So sorry, but they do.
He's out of Spain.
Okay, Spain. Every Thursday, 2 p.m. hangouts. And hangouts are hangouts. They are not support group meetings. They are just hanging out. But you will get a notification about that link once you sign up for any of our support group meetings. You will get that. Hey, we've got the Aorta Kitchen happening this month. Two sessions. This one is all about apples. It is. It's apples. It is apples. It's everything apples. I have no idea. I can't wait to find out though. The Halloween one that they did was a lot of fun, a lot of eyeballs and rats going on there, some good stuff. Um, that was a lot of fun to watch. This week on Thursday, it's going to be about apples. So I'm sure there's going to be appetizers, main dishes, and desserts with apples. If it's an apple pie, I want that recipe for Thanksgiving. Other things that are happening that might be off of our typical path is, I don't see when the date was for, I can't remember what I told you it was for Dr. Fisher and Carmen. I have to add that here. But we do have the Aortic Artist coming up on the 12th. And that's with Diane Bishop. I do not know what she's doing yet. She's supposed to get it to me tonight. So my guess is as good as yours. But we're going to make something really fun. And she is just fun. We do have an Ask a Doctor this month. Ask a Doctor will take place on Facebook. That's where you start, right? That's one option. Go to Facebook at 6:30. There will be a post pinned to the top of Aortic Hope's page where you can, on a public post, put a question that you have for Dr. Siddharth Prakash out of UT Houston. He is a cardiologist. He's also run major research studies about exercise and AD, but you can ask him anything. I will be on with Terry Cook, our other board member, live here on AHTV. You'll get a notification if you click the little alarm bell, and we will be relaying those questions and answers from Facebook as well. Any questions you ask here on YouTube, I will be putting into that chat with Dr. Prakash and sharing with you what those answers are. If you want to ask an anonymous question, We will have a link on YouTube as well as a link on Facebook. And I think there's a link in this event page as well. Once that turns red, there'll be a link there where you can ask your questions anonymously. Okay. Because it is all very public. La la la. What else do we have? What else do we have? Another kitchen. Thanksgiving, all Thanksgiving stuff on the 21st. So if you would love an opportunity to grab a quick recipe, I guarantee you that Rob and Mindy are going to have something that is like awesome on that 21st. And if you have any questions about substituting ingredients or ways to spice without using salt, or you want a way to make a quick gravy, you want to know what you can do with cranberries, you can just shoot them a message, and I guarantee you they'll send you some great recipes. But that's a great one to really join. And that's kind of it. So other than me adding the link for Ask a Doctor and Aortic Artists and putting up the live with Dr. Fisher and Carmen, that's our November. And then that's all I have. How's that for an ending? That's all I have, you guys, because I'm tired. This daylight savings is kicking my butt. There's a lot going on. My Jenny is in Dublin right now with Global Heart Hub at their annual summit. She wrote me and she said everybody's getting tipsy at 8 o'clock drinking Prosecco. So they're probably all asleep now. So, like, what do they say? 40 or 50? No, 40. 50 is the new 40. Is that the right way? 50? No, 40 is the whatever the way. I can't think of the good way to say that. Well, I guarantee you that like 9 p.m. is the new 2 a.m. for sure. At 55 it is. Yes. 9 p.m. Oh, I get really happy to go snuggle up in my bed. And I think of all those brave souls that are waking up from their disco nap like I used to and getting ready to go out and party. Those days are done because I need to sleep. Oh, you guys, what a week. I feel like there's some stuff I want to share. I'm going to be drinking tomorrow night. Anything else? Anybody else doing anything
tomorrow
fun?
night? Oh, never mind. I know what tomorrow is.
I'm drinking.
I know what it is.
I am drinking Fireballs tomorrow night.
So Katie here says, yes. Arizona doesn't change time. She had a Zoom call this morning from Arizona and had to figure out what time the meeting really was.
That's right.
This is why
there was another place.
Messing with time is a silly thing to do.
It's so silly.
Terrible idea.
Because time isn't even like really real anyway. Time is.
Here we go.
It's like a weird concept. It's just something so that we know when to be somewhere. That's all it is. I mean, because could you imagine a day where we had no watches and there was no time? We just would go by sunrise, sunset, and sun's here. I think it's time. You wouldn't eat based on time. You eat based on hunger. Let's just be real. Like, I'm hungry. Let me call my friend. Do you want to eat? I feel like I could eat. Nobody cares if it's 12 o'clock or if it's 2 o'clock. We're just going to go eat. That's kind of how it is. That's how I feel. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'm tired. Hey, I want to wish Bruce Walt. This is what I want to talk about. I'm just going to wish, and we're going to do a whole other conversation about fundraising, you guys. There's a lot of people that are starting to have some really fun events that they're planning to raise funds for Aortic Hope, and it's so exciting. It's so fun to see, and Terry Cook, our director of fundraising, is there to help you every step of the way and make it a successful event. Bruce Waldrop is going to be hosting his final Dine and Donate in St. Charles, Missouri this Thursday night at starts at 3 p.m., runs until 10 p.m. He's going to be there answering questions about aortic disease, having a blast eating his buttered buns, and Diane Bishop is also doing one on Thursday night out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So you can, if you're in that area, you should pop over either area and check them out. We know that we have somebody here in Maryland that is looking to put together an event for their 10-year anniversary coming up in January. I'm working on that for myself right now. We're going to have this guy who does magic, hopefully meandering, and he's a survivor as well. And we're hoping we're going to have him there. There's another woman in the area who has a friend. Her friend is in a band, a 90s cover band, and she's looking for them to do a benefit concert at a brewery. That's so exciting. So there's like all these little events and things that are popping up in South Carolina. Carolina in March or April. There's going to be a band that's doing a benefit concert with funds going to Aortic Hope, and trying to plan something in California in January. So if you've ever had interest in wanting to plan something to celebrate your aortiversary and raise some money for Aortic Hope, you must know that 100% of the funds that are raised are used to give back to the community through our initiatives. No one here is compensated. So we take it all and move it right back into all of the things we can offer all of you. And we are here to help you and make it fun and exciting. So yeah, I just remembered what I wanted to say.
That's lovely.
Okay. So look for the launch of all of those recordings from Adam, as well as a launch letting you guys know about the visual and audible version of aortic dissection, the patient guide, where you get to watch a lot of me pronouncing words like spironolactone and colloquially, which I could do right now, but couldn't do then.
You didn't do it.
And hopefully we're going to have a launch too of when Dr. Ben Udelman and myself gave our presentation in Edinburgh about how to ace your healthcare journey. I finally got a copy of that, and we will hopefully get that to you very soon. And that's all I got. Now I'm officially done. But thank you to Katie and to Velda and to Ken for joining us today. I do appreciate your support. And please don't forget to click like, click subscribe, the little bell, and share, because someone will get something out of this.
Did you say Christina?
And Christina. And Christina. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We will see you soon. I will not be here next Monday. You have Molly, and she's going to make it a lot of fun for you as well. But we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Take care and goodbye.